Charlemagne, are we live?
We live, baby.
Good, cause I ain't gonna curse.
Good. Good, good, good.
Good, good, good. Yo, I was just listening to Michael Jackson. Leave me alone. I've been listening to a lot of Mike since Jermaine, since Joe died.
Really?
I guess it's appreciation for like, yeah, thank you for them ass whooping, pops. You can die in peace now.
Yeah, I guess the more accurate one to be listening to Jackson 5 stuff.
That's true, but it don't have the same feel that I want. That as the kids say, the vibe.
That's true.
It's
That's true.
happy music. It's too happy, which is good. But at times, I need that little bit of edge that he had in Bad.
It had to be happy. They was getting their ass singing. If they would have did some depressed, like you wonder why Michael was able to sing such sad songs. Go hang out with him and watch his father kick his ass at 6 years old for getting these six counts wrong
Yeah, because
or
Ben,
going up the wrong octave.
because Ben is easily one of the most depressing songs ever.
It really is. It really is.
It really is. But what episode? This is episode 9. I gotta keep count. Yeah, this is definitely episode 9.
All right.
I'm pretty sure of it. I have to go back, and this is our first time being on YouTube live because it's free, and which means I got to add the other episodes from SoundCloud onto here. But I like this platform. They'll go on the SoundCloud as well. I'm getting into all the technical stuff, but we out here.
Yeah, man. And if anybody out there listening wonders why my vocals sound kind of bumpy, because I'm on the way home from work.
Yo, shouts out to you for having a job. I wish I had a job.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to anybody with a job that got benefits. I was talking about this on Tuesday with my homeboy I used to work with. He was explaining to his girlfriend the differences between a job and a career. And the biggest difference between a job and a career is it's a lot more hoes at jobs.
This is facts. And with careers, it's like, yo, I really had to work to get here, or I knew somebody to make it
Is
work.
that and I kind of like it here. So like when you had a job, you don't care about hoes because a hoe can get another job and be a brand new hoe at another job.
This facts, and hope that somebody pays attention to her so she can somehow become a manager.
Yep, yep. Shout out to my old job where it's a few hoes that are the manager now, and you know dudes that dogged her out and dogged him out, did all types of things to them, and disrespected them for being hoes. Now they get write ups from them same hoes. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah, I don't think you worried about too many hells at your job. You just worried about informants.
Yeah, no, my job. Yeah, my job. Okay, for those listening, my job is a small group of guys. One of them, the coolest person is actually the supervisor. That's the cold part. Supervisor is probably the coolest non-snitching dude out there. I got another guy I work with. He ain't gonna snitch because I mean he deaf.
Okay.
So unless he can't hear what I'm saying.
Okay, that's problematic to a certain extent.
But he reading mine or he has a tape recorder, he can't snitch. Not saying deaf people don't snitch. I'm saying that if his back is turned and I'm talking, he better have a mirror or something because there's no way. There's no way. Then we got
Yeah, I know deaf people do be snitching. They throwing up under the table gang signs, maybe.
oh yeah, no, no, no. We are equal opportunity here. The audio and visually impaired people out there, they tell on you. They'll tattle because their senses are a little more refined. So if they can't hear, they see it. If they can't see, they heard it.
Sir, like Daredevil.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like low grade daredevils.
It's a superpower. I feel you. Well, uh, it's a lot of people. Whoever gonna be listening to these episodes, yeah, they definitely work for performance. It's always gonna be people performance at jobs just because they bored.
Yeah, and that's how people really get down in their regular life. Like those are the people that like write a letter or like put user reviews on Yelp. And not like the cool user reviews where you bigging up the place. The user review where you had the bad experience, everyone else around you is having a lovely time, and then you're like, it's the worst place ever. The food is terrible. Nah, you had a bad time.
But we already know who do those reviews. That's straight alt right or that's MAGA fans. That's all it is, which is the same thing to a certain extent. But these, I feel like the alt right movement or the super liberals that just like I have shit else to do right now except for call the police on black people every 5 seconds. Like these wild ass Twitter videos, I stop looking at because the shit is exhausting after a while. That's what I'm
Yeah,
getting.
man. Like, I don't know. You go ahead.
No, that's what my fault to cut you. That's what I'm getting to in life. Where I know, like I'm not having an existential like midlife crisis. I just know I'm getting older because I look at certain things now. I'm just like, yeah, I think I don't want to see that again. I'm tired. Like,
Yeah, and there's no value to your. There's no added value to seeing that. Like, because A, how many times you got to see that to know it's messed up? B, it's probably happened to you once or twice at minimum. And C, it's depressing, man. Like, it's hard to watch.
yeah, that's main. That's the main thing. Is just like I don't want to be avoided. I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to be informed about something I've been knowing for half my damn life, and I don't want to see it like every day. And I'm not going to go on Twitter and have Twitter fingers to complain about shit that's never going to change. That's what I tell people. I've been like that for like 2 years now. I'm not really trying to fight battles I know I can't win.
Well, that's the thing is, I think there's a space to win the battle. I just, I'll put this. The reason I feel like there's a space to win the battle is because I, as a person of color, am tired of having to overcome stuff. Shit is exhausting. It really is. Like, overcome this, we'll overcome that. Like, dude, I watch superhero movies. I'm not trying to be an actual superhero.
Right? I don't want to get my ass kicked by Thanos.
Yeah, like like I know eventually I'm gonna win, but damn, man, like that's wearing on the spirit. It's, you know, this is why I hate Batman. I don't hate Batman, but I'm tired of Batman.
No, you can't say that. We've been meaning to have this conversation for a while. So cool. We keep talking about my president. We're gonna have an
Yeah,
issue.
yeah, no. I feel like there's no difference between. No, I'm not gonna say that. But
No, if it was a hot take, then go ahead.
I'm gonna say there's a degree of Batman fans out here in the superhero fandom that feel like the MAGA hat wearers.
Oh, you gotta explain that one to me. I think I know what you mean, but I gotta hear this one.
Because Batman is just like infallible. He can do no wrong. He's better than this person. He's better than that person. He's this. Like, yo, Batman's a guy. Like, you telling me you have a choice to be someone who can fly and lift things really far, someone who could teleport, someone who can, be a super soldier, someone who could have like all these different great powers out there, and you just want to be a rich dude?
Yo, I mean, they if you broken down like the whole mythology of Batman is just like at this point they just like, oh, he's crazy. The nigga's just crazy. Like you worth, it's not even millions. Like he's projected to be worth like some odd $1 billion, just like a real MAGA fan to be. Like the 1% would be. So he's worth like all these billions of dollars, and it's just like I want to be a superhero because his bat scared me, and that's why they like he might be literally insane. The other mythology of it is I seen this post like years ago on Instagram that was dope too. It was like, what if he's been locked away in a mental asylum for all these years, Arkham Asylum, and he's just dreaming of all this stuff. I'm like, yo, you know how fire that would be? They need to do that for the new Batman movie because see, now I'm about to get on my nerves shit. The fact that they keep saying they want to put the Penguin as the main villain, it's like, see, this is why Warner Brothers not eating.
Well, I don't have a problem with the Penguin. My biggest issue with Batman is like, y'all want to be Batman when it's so much better to be James Bond.
Yeah, it's less of a hassle.
Yeah, and you get to do all the things Batman does. You don't have to wear no silly ass costume. Because I mean, let's be real. Batman's costume versus James Bond's tuxedo. Which one are you trying to wear?
Even though I hate tuxedos, I would rather wear the tuxedo.
Yeah, man. Like only Jaden Smith can pull off the Batman suit. We didn't seen this.
And that hilarious fucking video. The Batman video is fucking one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And like, look, man, we've already established that Jaden Smith is one of the greatest human beings to ever live.
He is a superhero.
Yeah. This is why he can wear it.
Like, you know you a superhero when you got a mixtape that came out years ago and Hove's like, all right, I'm gonna sign you to Rock Nation and you could bring your label over. Everybody that signed to Rock Nation, they have no label. This dude got his own label and he came over there. And people gonna say, oh, it's because Hove is cool with Will Smith. Nah, Hove cool with a lot of people. You don't see him putting on Memphis Bleak, son. And that's like his brother. That's his little brother, basically.
Yeah. Like he already said, if no matter what happened, Bleak gonna be rich for the rest of his life.
I believe that sincerely because he has not said that about anybody else.
Yes.
Like let's say that
Jaden bought from Memphis Bleak.
Bruh, like if I hate doing this because it's gonna. I mean, you know, he says the Chatty Patty thing. I'm not saying anything bad about Dame. I like Dame, but it's just it's like the whole thing we know with Dame and people saying his financial issues. I don't get in nobody's pockets, but you didn't see Hove like, all right, I'm gonna give you like $200 million, but and he never even said on the record around that time when they broke up and all that. Like even years later after all that happened, like I'm gonna help Dame out. It's like nah. Memphis Bleak, the only person I got.
That's because certain habits in Jay-Z have not died. Like that whole drug dealer don't talk at all thing is still there. You notice Hove don't show up until Hove got something to say.
Right, or you really keep fucking with him.
Yeah. Like between 444 and Magna Carta was a whole ass 4 years.
Yep.
It's not that he wasn't recording. He just wasn't ready to talk to you.
And he felt no need to. And all the while, during that 4 years, he was cheating. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. He a black man. He can't cheat, but you know.
Oh, also, that's my hot take of the millennium. And that's why I'm going to give Jay, for the Everything Is Love album and 444, I'm going to give him the MVP of the past 2 months, or at least because all he had to do was get his marriage in order, and he returned to form as being quite possibly the greatest rapper we've ever heard.
Oh no, he is the greatest. See, this is like I told you, like we probably go over that list. It's only a few people I'll stand for in life. Jay-Z is definitely on that list.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, bro, like Magna Carta was all right, but it still was good. And Kingdom Come was all right, but it still was good. if that makes sense. It's like, okay, I can still listen to it. Like I listened to Kingdom Come a couple months ago. I'm like, it's still pretty good. I listened to Magna Carta like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, it's still cool.
Yeah,
And
and in the middle of all of that, he dropped one of his best albums, which is American Gangster.
oh yeah, that's definitely in my top three for his from my personal favorite Jay-Z albums. That's definitely in my top three.
Yeah, man, that might have pushed out a Black Album for me.
Oh no, hands down. Because I'm not a big fan of Black Album. Like I like Warning because it's a nice, wonderful beat. Of course, Allure because it's the Neptunes, and I mean, what was it? It was like 9 tracks on there too.
It was like 13, 14, but
On the Black Album, I thought it was like 9.
nah, man, it was like 30. Well, the first song was the intro, and then after that, I think it was just like I think it ended at 14. Jay don't do long albums, man. Jay don't like Blueprint 2 is the longest Jay album. Obviously, it's double disc. But when you
Right,
look at Jay albums, for the most part, he try and get out by like 15 songs at max tops, and even then,
right.
he gonna have an interlude or something.
And I mean, you get what you get from his album within like 2 songs anyway. Like you know, it's gonna be like Hove. I got something to prove, Hove, or it's gonna be like, let me just show y'all. Like I just got something to say. That's it.
Yeah, or you get the whole like the Blueprint 3, Volume 3 whole, where it's just like, let me show y'all I can do anything.
And then you get the Love Everything album, and it's just this nigga like bodying songs. He really don't need the body, and
Yeah,
he with his wife. That's the funny thing about it. It's you're right, 14 songs. You're right. It's crazy. Like I told you, like with the Love Everything album, and I don't think we talked about it that much on the last episode because you were
nah,
just
because I
now.
haven't listened to it yet. I've listened to it multiple times now, and yeah, man.
I probably went through it 3 times. Not because of just I think I'm done with it. Like I'm gonna listen to it again probably tomorrow. I don't know. It's just I've been listening to Scorpion a lot, so I don't really know what to say.
We'll
But
get there.
yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that with the Love Everything album. Like I said, when it came out after Nas lost, it was just like it's not called Nasir anymore. It's called Nas Lost. I'm calling the album Nas Lost.
Nas L.
Yeah, this would go with the Jay-Z. I mean the Kanye thing I want to talk about too because I finally want to address this nigga, man.
We got a few other people we got to get to before that.
Right. So with the Love Everything, I'm like, I said like I had it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to it. And I thought I was gonna wait a couple of days to listen to it. I was like, nah, I got some free time. Let me listen to it. I put on the first track, and I'm like, all right. Second track in, because like I said with Hove, you already know, like first, second track, it set the tone for the rest of the album, and you like, okay, I understand what's about to happen. It's about to be good or great for the rest of the album. I got to the second track, and I was like, damn, Nas lost. This is like Hove just really just like bodying songs. I'm like, bro, at this point, you really don't need to rap this dope.
No, nah. It's like it'd be like Kareem putting up 50 in his last game, not because he need to, just because the nigga can.
And that's where we are. And the thing is, it's like, is he gonna keep doing this until like he completely
Yeah,
like, all right, I'm done with rap, which ain't gonna never happen because we thought he was done with rapping after the Black album, but he was like, no, he came back 2 years later. No, I'm sorry, he came back 3 years later. He took 3 years off just to do Kingdom Come, and he has not stopped yet. He took a
no,
4 year break from the Magna Carta to 444, and he probably was listening what everybody was saying about Magna Carta's being weak, and he was like, okay. He came back. Well, he waited for a scandal to come back to 444.
Gregory, he was like, okay, that's what y'all think.
What that
What
say
that
right
say?
there?
He got
Kill,
no ID. He's like, no ID. Hey Dion, what that say right there?
kill Jay-Z. Stop.
Hey, stop right there. Stop right there. We gonna kill this whole album. We gonna kill Jay. We gonna kill me, and I'm gonna do it myself with the truth because I don't tell nothing but the truth.
But what if he would have started out? I mean, you have to start a tone. And once again, we'll talk about Scorpion later because Drake has a habit of doing this. You always set a tone for an album. I think this is why I love Daytona so much, because it sets a tone. So
Yeah.
with 444, it's like he could have set the tone with the song 444, but it would have made us mad depressed, and we'd be like, all right, the rest of the album about to be like this. He started off with Kill Jay-Z with the beat sound like some goddamn supervillain stuff that's fire. And then we didn't get that the rest of the album. It was pretty much good feeling the rest of the album.
Yeah, you get the 444 moment, and then you get like the Moonlight moment where it's like, man, he's either sad or a little frustrated, and then it's just like right back to Hov. He's like, yo, I'm gonna figure this out.
Right, because La La Land is like one of my favorite Jay-Z songs ever.
Yeah, Moonlight is cold.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay, it's my fault. It's Moonlight. Yeah, and I like the video made it better.
Yeah, shout out to Gerard Carmichael.
Oh yeah. Shouts out to him.
Man's hilarious. Shout out to everybody in the video, man.
What is he doing right now? I know he's about to do the Dapper Dan movie, but is he doing something else?
I'll stand up.
Right, because they let the show go, and the show was pretty good.
The show was great. The show was doing everything they wanted Roseanne to do, but he was doing it better.
Facts. And then that really, like, they was already on that path to blowing up, but that show really put Lil Rel and Tiffany Haddish like to where they are now. It added on.
Yeah, like that's the cool thing about that show is that show was probably not going to be able to last on the air for much longer, just because Lil Rel and Tiffany Haddish, like, Get Out and Girls Trip was coming.
Yeah.
Like, that's really it.
Right, because it went from the Carmichael show, and then she just bodied Girls Trip, and then it was just like, all right, cool. Well, she about to start getting the bags. And then Rel, he been working, shouts out to him, like, he been working for a minute. And every time I see him, I stay seeing him at the day parties. That still surprised me. Like, when you see, that's how I'm like, I know this nigga. That's how I could tell this nigga from Chicago. Because it's like, bro, like, you eating and you just be at the day parties, just post it with Henny. Because every time I see him, we be having I'm not, putting myself over, but every time I see him for the past 2 years, I've been seeing I'm always big him up. We be having long ass conversations. And they be like, do this nigga know he ain't Uncle Drew?
Yeah, like, nigga, I saw the movie. It was fun.
I want to see it, bro. The internet let me down right now. I got to be honest, because I'm going to admit I really want to see Hotel Artemis, and I still haven't seen that yet. And this movie, this might be problematic. I want to see Superfly. Just want to see it.
No, it's not problematic to want to see Superfly.
The soundtrack is fire.
The thing you got to remember that's the thing you got to remember about the original Superfly. When we talk about Superfly, the original one, the first thing we think about is the Curtis Mayfield soundtrack. I don't think of Ron O'Neal.
Right. That's all I think about, because I think I've seen Superfly maybe once, but I'm like, I know the soundtrack.
Yeah.
If American Gangster was in one of the greatest movies ever made, I'll be like, just the album, the whole album. And then the soundtrack, but the movie soundtrack had a dope song by Anthony Hamilton.
Yeah.
But that is definitely one of the greatest movies ever.
American Gangster?
Yes.
I'll let you have that.
Oh, God. No, go ahead. Get it. Go ahead.
No, I have nothing bad to say about that movie. I enjoy that movie.
I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing about
it. Criticism. I think the biggest thing I learned in my life, and people, it's funny, people, which is, if someone loves something, I let them love it. Because I don't have to love it. No. We'll get into things like this one better than this one. We'll talk. But and it's not a lot of like gangster movies that like hold the same reverence with garbage like that. I just like to people. I just don't love Scarface like that.
Oh yeah, we talked about that before.
So
I love Scarface, but I understand why people don't like it. Like, it's the same thing with me and you. It's the same thing. Like, I'm not going to try to make you like something I like, because I like, I don't know. I don't even know what I like at times, but I'll be like, oh, I like this. Like, except for when it comes to food, I'm not going to really try to make you like something. Like, when it comes to food, that's different. Like, I'm a food stan, so it's like, bro, like, my nigga, you don't like that? You don't like salmon, my nigga?
yeah, no, yeah, like, type of nigga is you? Nah, but yeah, I'm never gonna force someone to be the way I am, which leads us into our first left-handed of the league. Everybody who got on Terry Crews for saying he should have fought the dude that sexually assaulted him. Everybody. It thought that Terry Crews should have bodied that dude. I'm not even talking about 50. Because 50, I know it was like Tesla's, but I also know 50 was joking. Other people were really serious and trying to like say Terry Crews ain't a real man. Who's face? See how that work out for you.
Right, because
Don't
I'm
run up
like,
on Terry Crews.
nah, you're not gonna do that, man. So he started pushing weights at 12 because he was coming from a bad household, and he from the Midwest, and he 50 years old. I'm good.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah,
daddy
man.
strength. Like he got daddy strength now. Like there's some pseudoscience shit I think about all the time. This is one of my random weird ass thoughts. Like, I feel like anybody that had a son, they just strong as shit. Like, Steph Curry just had his first son. Shouts out to him. Yo, he gonna be strong as fuck next season. He gonna be in the paint, backing people down.
Yeah. He gonna slap the shit out of somebody.
It's definitely gonna happen, because now you gotta set an example for your son. Like, bruh, you gonna be able to watch this on like YouTube 2.0,
Yeah,
whatever YouTube 2.0 gonna be, with goddamn like a holographic YouTube channel or some shit. And he like, I gotta show you what's up. I mean, ain't nobody has really tested Steph since 2016, since he won his last MVP. There's no fans punching him out no more like that one dude did during the finals or the playoffs in 2016. Nobody's really testing him at this point, because it's gonna cost you a lot of money from the league, because the Warriors are making a shitload of money for the league, and they are going to San Francisco next year to play there by San Francisco Bay. So you're not going to cost one of the best players in the league any harm, because it's going to cost you harm in your pockets.
And my man has to go to Oakland to play every night, every game, and he has to go practice in Oakland a lot. You really think Oakland ain't rubbed off on him?
Nah, he definitely he too certified, because they protected by just the fans. Like, go
Yeah,
to
man.
state,
Like
Warriors got fans.
Yeah, like try something to Steph Curry. You know, you might not have to deal with Steph. You're gonna have to deal with E40 though.
Yeah, and E40 got a gang of niggas with him with dreadlocks.
Yeah, man. It ain't gonna be nice for you
At all.
You know,
So
go look up the last story when someone said something just kind of bad about for you.
No, better yet, Hammer.
That.
We ain't even talk about Hammer. Hammer be at the game every now and then.
Hammer.
In the words of Big Boy from Outkast, well, Dre said it too. You don't want to run up on Hammer.
Nah, Hammer will jack your ass.
Like, people, that's the funniest thing when I start finding out Hammer stories like 2 years ago. And there, Redman, he ran up on Redman because Redman said something about his mom. He put a hit out on what was it, third base?
Yeah, MC Search.
He put a in the sky, and this is like in the 90s, so you couldn't get to a phone ASAP. Like, you couldn't be on the Wi-Fi and see it trending on social media. You had to find out. They said if you land, the LA Crips gonna get you. They didn't even say a set. They just said the LA Crips. That's how I know they from the East Coast, because with us, we being from LA, they be like, the LA Crips want to get you. Which one? Like, which set?
nigga said this like it's the Clippers. What the fuck is going on with you? But not, that's the amazing thing about everybody who was like talking spicy about Terry Crews. They have no fear of Terry Crews running up on them. Because you got to think about this. Terry Crews got sexually assaulted at a party by a white man much smaller than him in front of his wife. And Terry Crews was like, yeah, I can't do nothing about this right now.
Yeah, because with 50, we already know. Like, I'm a 50 fan. Everybody know that. Like, the nigga's hilarious. He hell of a rapper, etc., etc. So with him, you just know what it is. Like, the nigga's he's funny. He's an old school dude from the hood that cracks jokes all the time. So with him, everybody's like, we gotta get him out the paint and all that. It's like, bro, like, do y'all understand who 50 Cent has been for 16 years now? Like,
he revels in this type of shit.
Yeah, and he's good because he's doing that for promotion as well. He got a TV show on Liquor.
Yeah.
He got the best TV show out on TV right now. He got to do that.
That's what I was about to say. Y'all could try and cancel 50 if you want. Y'all gonna stop watching Power?
No, they cancel Power. I'm about to be hot.
Yeah, man. I didn't, let Sunday come around. You not here. This is a big rich town.
Nah, then I gotta go and see social media start bullying people.
You're gonna cry. Let them say, "Oh no, we're not showing no more Power."
No, I gotta start a petition.
I'm saying,
fuck that. I'm about to be worse than Rose. Well, all two Roseanne fans. I'm like, yo, we gotta. This is bullshit. And he has his rights. He can say whatever he wants. It's a free country.
You know what you do? You start calling the white people who cancel it niggers. They'll be so confused.
These thugs.
They'll just be like, what?
These thugs.
I don't. Yeah.
We can't get that. And the thing is, it's just like, bro, like, I get what the man mean. Like, he said, I'm a big black dude. If I put my hands on this dude, it's gonna be a problem. Nigga, I'm not even a big black dude, pause. And if I put my hands on a white person, it's gonna be a problem. Like, you can't just go in and start
white skin. You just like,
bro, you can't swing. Like, the dude is 260. You can't just be up here. It don't matter what color you are. He 260.
Yeah. Now, I want y'all. This is an experiment, and this is a thought experiment. I want y'all to think about. If you took like some NyQuil or some sleeping medicine or some codeine or something like that, and then you saw Terry Crews have the shit out of a white man in front of a bunch of people, I guarantee you,
it's not gonna work. Like, bro, this nigga Traps is bigger than my leg.
Yeah, come on, man. And since we're on Twitter, let's go to the watch candidate of the week, Nicki Minaj.
Woo! All right, so
heard about this one?
Listen, but I heard about it a little bit. Then I started listening to Joe Budden's podcast, and they broke it down because they love talking about her, but they have points that are factual. Now, they talk about her maybe doing drug use. Meek Mill said when he was kicking around her and living out here on the Hollywood life, he was also popping pills. I mean, obviously going to jail, that's going to get you off of it. And I think he was off of it before then, so I can't say that. I think before, because he had people around him saying you wilding. Like, this is a hood dude. Like, and he a hood dude at 30. This ain't the hood dudes now that pop pills. He's 30 and a hood dude with a son. So you gonna stop popping pills off the back. But with her, supposedly the person was not supposedly, but she used to work on Karen Civil's blog or whatever website she had, and she was just stating an honest opinion. And it's a very good opinion because Nicki Minaj is closer to 40 than she is fucking 20.
Now,
And
that was the one that, like, that's the one point I thought Nicki Minaj was fine with. Like, if I'm 35, don't say I'm close to 40, and don't use 20 as an example. Like, you're gonna jump 15 years. Like, if the range is 20 to 40, okay, fine, I'm closer to 40, but don't use 20. Use 30. Particularly, like, it's a little age is a little different for women because the closer they start getting to 40, even if they still fine as hell, we just don't want them. It's weird. As far
right,
as the Meek Mill drug use thing, Meek admitted that, I think he got like surgery or somehow, I think he got like some dentist work and they gave it to him and he got addicted. That's how a lot of people get addicted. He went to
right.
rehab, he dealt with that. I don't know about Nicki Minaj's drug use. I don't know enough about her to say that she does drugs. I'm gonna assume that she doesn't.
I don't. Maybe
But
she's just crazy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't want to put that on nobody either. But the fact that you snapping off for something like this when you're supposed to be one of the biggest artists on the planet, and then you get the video was strange. The video kind of like made me look at it a different way. You get on the video, open up a bag, and you look like girl, you worth millions. You can get the bag, like a Gucci bag or whatever the bag she got. And she looked like she was possessed. Mind you, she had one of them evil, I hate filters with a passion. She had one of them evil filters on her face. But the look on her face is like, yo, you wilding right now, shorty.
there's that. And another thing I've found somewhat compelling about this, I don't think there's some sense connected, like, I don't know if she's crazy. I just think this was one of those things where she one too many complaints about her music and did everything on this girl. This poor lady got spirit bombed with all the criticism that she was tired of getting for like the past year or so, from the Remy stuff to people thinking she hated Cardi B and all of that. And she just basically unloaded all of that onto this young lady. And I feel bad for the young lady. And at the same time, I think what we're learning is Nicki may need to take a break from reading her mentions and such.
Right. And that's what they was talking about on the Joe Budden podcast. They just like, how did she have, they just like, this is why they think she's either on drugs or she losing her mind. Cause it's like, yo, why are you on the shade rooms? Like, girl, like, why are you on the shade room? Why are you reading your mentions, bodying people? This reminds me of the Queen Azealia Banks. It's the same thing. I just think Azealia, she just got more. I said Azealia. Azealia just has more time on her hands. Not saying anything about her career wise. It just feel like this is what she been doing, even when she was really working.
She got a little more time for this.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Some of the things, because I really thought about this, and one of the big criticisms was like, "Oh, Nicki should be reflective and all this and that." I mean, Nicki did have reflective moments on the Pink Print, but the play that she should have made was, because I think she said this is the first time Nicki Minaj has been single in about 20 years. So
we blame. Hey, we should blame this on Sharif probably.
On Safari?
Yeah, there you go. Damn, I'm messing up names. Safari.
I ain't gonna blame this on Safari. All I'm saying is Nicki should have been like, I've been in relationships for a long time. I just want to have fun right now. I just want to be free right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. We just watched Girls Trip about that.
Right.
It was about black women in their late 30s, early 40s, going out, having a good time, doing raunchy things. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Nicki making that type of music. That's where Nicki should have made the play. Nicki also could have made the play of like, look, she has made those songs. I've made those songs. I don't have any of those right now. You would ask me to basically being forcing to make something that I'm not feeling right now. And that, unfortunately, if you don't want to listen, I'm sorry, but that's not where I am as an artist. That's a fair response to that.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem I had with Nicki doing that was she jumped in that lady's DMs to do it.
Right, and then it still got screen captured. That's the main thing.
Yeah, and she knew it was gonna get screen captured, but or if she didn't, then I don't know how you don't know that's gonna happen. But she did that, and the most messed up thing was she's like Nicki has been talking like ladies empowerment and this and that, and her response to this lady was, "You're just mad because you're ugly and broke."
Yeah, and it's like we're not mad at you because of your money. They said the same thing on the podcast. It's like nobody's mad because you rich and famous. Like nobody gives a fuck about that. We just want to hear growth. If you're supposed to be this extraordinary rapper or great rapper or whatever type of artist you're supposed to be at this point in your career, like okay, let's just say pop artists because there's a lot of rappers out right now that's pop artists, right? Because there's a lot of rappers out right now, so-called rappers right now that are pop artists. Like Post Malone is a pop artist with a little bit of rap flows. Like, hell, arguably the Migos might be pop artists at this point. I'm gonna still listen to free bands. I mean, not free bands. I'm gonna still listen to goddamn their mixtapes. I can't think of no names today, but it's just this is a different time with the distinction between rapper and pop artists.
Well, rappers are the pop artists now. Because we're the most popular form of music.
Exactly.
So like anybody that comes out, rapper that comes out and has a hit rap song, they have a hit pop song.
Right.
This is why, you know, I hate to say this, but this is why less talented rappers are being able to succeed in a much greater way than they used to before. But when it comes to Nicki, like this is when me and my brother was talking about this. On that song that Drake had on his album where Nicki like was doing that freestyle in concert at a show, I think it was Powerhouse out here in LA. She sounded so good. She sounded so talented as a rapper that it was just like, man, like I think we forget that when Nicki gets there and like gets to just rapping, it's few people better than her right now.
Right.
But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna write her off. I'm gonna listen to the album. I'm gonna check it out because, you know, people just like you always say this. You don't lose talent.
No, that never goes away. It's just you're right about the okay. So let me put this together. You're definitely right about the woman empowerment thing. She's been saying this shit for so long, but then every time she says it, she counters it with, "Bitch, you broke, you're ugly, you ain't shit," and it's like, hold on, motherfucker, that's totally the contrary of what you just said. Like, and you go off on black women about this. If I'm gonna keep it real, it'd be a lot of white women saying this, your ass too big and you fake and all this. I don't see you saying shit to them. But you stay going off on black women. And it's like, hold on, that's supposed to be your main, like, that's supposed to, not your main go-to for like your music, but that should be your main lane. You're supposed to be opening up for them. All these records you broke because you're a black woman, a female artist that's broken all these Billboard awards since Aretha Franklin, if I'm not mistaken.
And let's be honest, Nicki Minaj is a beautiful woman. Yeah. Don't throw the fact that you just wild people in someone else's face like because you're beautiful, you're ugly. Nigga, ain't many women that is.
Right. And
we're not like.
And to keep it 100, you can't be saying all that when people. I'm not talking about it when people talk about your plastic surgery. Like, somebody can use that against you, and it's just like, yo, like, you got to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of. You're right.
Yo, your bars got to get better. Like, even with your clapbacks, your bars got to be better. You can't respond back like you just learning how to rap. Like, you can't respond back like a 15-year-old. Like, you a better rapper than that. Like,
yeah. I look at when people use plastic surgery as a way to like combat against her. I look at plastic surgery the same way I look at steroids. Everybody can get it, but it ain't gonna work for everybody. Like, let's put it this way: Mark McGwire used steroids, and then there was Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds. And we will not even dare to confuse Mark McGwire as good as Barry Bonds or A-Rod. A lot of women out there getting plastic surgery, good plastic surgery. They ain't coming out looking like Nicki.
Nah, and that's her face. Now that's her face at least. It's just the body thing. It's just like, you know, I don't touch that. Ain't my thing to criticize, because I mean I have my personal preference, but other people don't. And then that's whatever you do with your body, that's what you do with your body. My main thing from this is I think the girl, the woman. I'm sorry, I gotta say woman. We in a different time. I can't say girl. The woman is from New York as well, I believe. If she worked with Karen Civil, she has to be from New York. I think she forgot that Nicki Minaj is 34 from New York. A totally different.
There
is that. Like the clapback's always gonna happen. Like, come on, bro.
She from Southside too. She a few years younger than 50, but you know, it ain't. Southside didn't have a dramatic shift in that time.
I just think anybody that was around, that was like outside before the internet, you might want to just be careful how you talk to them.
Yeah, particularly though, because they take disrespect a different way.
Yeah, they give you a whole soliloquy, then they might actually do something.
Yeah, like I could tell if that was in her face, Nicki was talking herself into punching that girl.
Right.
There's a certain way you talk where, like, you've seen this before. Dudes will start talking and they'll start moving and they'll start, like, you know, rubbing their hands and, like, flexing out their wrists and stuff like that. They're getting ready to punch you.
I'm not going to say anything to criminalize myself, but I understand, brother. That's all I'll say.
No,
like,
it's really true. You see them moving around and they still stuck on something. This is a little bit of game for all you guys out there who may run into this one day in your life. If you see someone and they have a problem with you and you keep trying to explain it and they stay stuck on this one thing and they start moving and they start like rolling their body and they start like twisting their wrists and like cracking their knuckles, you're about to be in a fight. So you better get ready right then and there.
Or worse, if the dude just looking at you and the person is just talking the whole time, like you looking at this dude talk for so long, and then you just keep shaking your head like, okay. And if that body turn a little bit, watch out for that right. Yeah. If that's his dominant hand, pause. Watch out for that right.
Yeah, step back. When you turn, you step away. But anyway, since we talked, let's talk about the Scorpion album.
I'll let you go first, and then I'll go after that.
All right. I think the Scorpion album is. I don't have much to say about that, actually. I think the score is good. I think my biggest issue with Drake is that Drake puts too many songs. I'm a person that wants your best, not everything. And it's not because I like shorter albums. We've been doing this for a while, and Drake has not put out an album this long that I have loved. That's just what it is. I still think he's an incredibly talented dude. There's a lot of really good songs on there. I was surprised. I think the biggest surprise was how good Side B was. Anytime I hear Drake singing, I get hesitant because I'm like, this is either going to be very, very bad or for Drake singing is very, very slim. It could get bad real quick. And those first two songs were bad off the bat. but then it got a lot better on side B. You know, so yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It's pretty good. It's just a little too long for me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have like a deep like review like we usually have because it's not one of those like very good sonically sound albums. Like, oh, you hear this percussion drum right here. Like, shouts out to 40 for just being a hell of an engineer and producer. Like that. That's all I can say at this point because we seen what he's done on Imagine Jordan albums and etc. So we not gonna get. He gonna give you enough where you could be like, all right, it's good. It's not gonna be like a Kanye album. That's not taking anything for 40. With side A, it started off like I said. I played it last Friday night, and I was like, side A started off fire. Like Drake does the same thing, like Hove. Like he sets a precedence with his album, and I think every album, for the most part, every song kind of sets the tone for what you might think the album is gonna sound like. It, but with Drake, it kind of drops off at certain points because it is a lot of songs, like on More Life, even though that's considered a playlist. It's a fucking mixtape, bro. It's not a playlist. And that was another album because he's saying like he a free agent after this. So I guess that More Life project was just another project to put out so I could be like, all right, let me put out Scorpion so I could just leave the label. Now I hope nobody don't think he gonna go independent. Like that's way too much in marketing money he would have to spend in tour to go independent. It's like, nah, like you could spend it, but it's like, bro, you ain't gonna get that much back compared to if you have a label.
The marketing money wouldn't be bad because he has so many followers that he could tweet or Instagram something and it'll get shared. It'll trend.
Right. The tour is the problem. Like
there's ways for him. Yeah. No, he'd probably have to. I don't know what he'd have to do. But yeah, I mean, he'll get another deal. Someone will dump big money on him.
More likely, I can see him going to Atlantic. I gotta see going to Atlantic. No, Interscope, because Interscope. Who got the biggest art? I think it's Atlantic. Do they got who got Bruno Mars? Wherever Bruno Mars at, that's where he going. Let me look that up.
That's Warner Brothers. Then.
Is it Warner Brothers?
Warner Brothers Music Group. They got Bruno.
Okay, he probably ended up going there. Whoever got Bruno, like, because Beyonce is on Sony, right?
Beyonce is wherever the fuck she wants to be.
Right. I think she on Sony because you know Clive Davis. He has Hall of Famers. Like he always had Hall of Famers on Sony Music Group. Like
I think Beyonce and them be doing like one album deals though. Like they make the album and they like, you gonna put this out?
Oh, she's on Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're right about that because I'm like, what the fuck is Music World is her dad's label.
Yeah, but it's mostly like you can't go to a label thinking you're gonna get the Beyonce treatment because you're just not that. Like as talented as you may be, more often than not, you are not that. They only made one of those.
Nah, they ain't putting that much money behind you unless you Beyonce. Like you're not gonna get the big stage with like the big ass screen, 100-foot screens or whatever, and the whole stage, and you're not gonna get the stadium tours like that. Like even Drake ain't at the stadium tour level yet.
Nah,
and probably never will be.
Yeah, there's that. But
because it's more so like pop artists that get that.
Yeah, and it's just because there's a level of performing like that Bruno Mars and Beyonce can do that Drake and Jay-Z will never do.
Right, like you can do rapper hands on a big ass stage. Nobody want to see that.
It's so. I mean, like it's dope. Like we want to hear you rap. I'll go to the Staples Center to see you rap. But if it's a football arena, you know how many rappers you're gonna have to bring out for me to want to go there? And then I'm not gonna want to go there because rappers fight and people in the crowd fight.
Right.
And you know, just weed smoke. I sound old as hell right now.
But I feel you. I understand. You sound like Steve Harvey in 2003. Yeah. Steve Harvey, like I ain't playing no rap music except for So Fresh, So Clean.
I really love rap music. I will never fight rap music.
Nah, you can't.
even even the young dudes who I'm not like. I'll give you an example. I listened to that Juice World album, and I don't even know if it's good or bad. I just know it's not for me. Like that's how I knew I'm old because I listened to it and I was like, I can't tell if this is good or bad. I legitimately cannot.
We
So
talked about a little
yeah,
bit on
this.
the last episode. When I listen to it, I feel like, what the fuck is the point of life?
Well, there is that. It is a. I'm. I'm.
It's very depressing.
I'm
Like the Triple X Extension music, he was just like dark, demented, and all that shit. I'm like, I could turn it off. When I listen to that damn Juice World song, I on your head, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck do I need to hear this?
there's that, and I'm like in love, so it's a lot harder for me to like get there when it comes to like song and like heartbreak. Harder for me to get there. I'll be honest. The songwriting has to be like kind of immaculate for me to get there. You know, not to
Right.
try and throw it in anybody's face, but you got to be
Nah,
dope at that. You got to be Adele level good.
nah, I'm with you on that, and because I can't listen to goddamn Sam Smith either.
Yeah, there's a sadness in Sam Smith that I don't necessarily dislike. It's just I'm not there right now, and that's the most I could do for it. Anyways, speaking of sad, you want to go get mad at Kanye West now? Let's go.
I had to do the Drake Duffy freestyle. I'm upset sign.
Yeah, just we really got to do this. But
And
so
going back to Scorpion real quick before we get to that, that's basically what's been going on. Like they broke it down once again. To shout out to Joe Budden podcast, they broke it down like this whole thing, the shots and all this really been towards him. Cause that's what I'm saying. Like it's been towards him, but Drake jumped in. Well, he said what he said 2 years ago, but then of course, Pusha was gonna say something. Then he went back. This whole thing was, I'm really trying to go at Kanye, and you
yeah,
Kanye, which is cool. That's what you're supposed to do, especially if a dude give you a title that good as CEO
that's
of good music.
yeah, that's why Drake was like, "You're really a nice guy." It's like you're defending your friend. I respect that to a degree.
And Pusha is from what I heard, is a generally good dude. It's just like, and that's what he's saying. You approachable dude. I won't say that. I won't go that far. You can't tell another grown man with box braids that's 41 he approachable dude, and he from the
Also,
East Coast.
I'll say this: anybody who successfully got out of the drug dealing life is probably a nice person.
His brother is a grandfather, and he read the Bible all day. And he was more notorious as a drug dealer than Pusha. So what
Yes.
that tell you?
Now the thing about No Malice is, don't try No Malice because as much God is in him, he is still from Virginia and he is still from that area. He will grab the pistol.
No, he definitely got the hand, and he was in Desert Storm.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is his I think that was their oldest brother that was in Desert Storm. But all I'm saying about Pusha T and No Malice is they got out. They're very happy. They're probably genuinely kind and gracious people for the most part. Don't cross them because it is the nicest, sweetest people that have like escaped bad lives. That will be the first. Like they're gonna have like one of them little secret agent guns that they have on the hip or the boot or something. They're gonna have one of them James Bond guns, and it's just gonna be like what you're saying.
It's a coded gun.
Yeah, it's gonna come out of nowhere, and you're just gonna be like, you got to like really retract what you were saying. And y'all don't want to do that. Let's be honest. None of you want to do that. You don't want to live that way. You shouldn't want to live that way. It's a bad way to live. It's a bad way to live. But yeah, go off about Kanye West now.
I won't go off. You know, these days I don't really go off about nothing like that. Particularly I don't go off on people like that. Like I said, this is Con Banks time. I'm getting older. It's weird. But no, just my thing is it's kind of that old saying of what's done in the dark shall come to the light type thing. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of those older sayings. So with the Scorpion album, and it was broken down in the podcast that I was listening to, they really was like nitpicking every bar that he was saying, especially out of 8 out of 10, which is a fire song as well. And the stuff that they were picking, I was like, damn, that does sound like he was talking about Kanye. Then cut to today, and I sent you that story that was on Rolling Stone, and Malik Youssef, who has been knowing Kanye for years. That's the thing that's been questioning me about Kanye for the past couple years. It's like, bro, like it's people that you was with heavy hitters and all them, like shouts out to Really Doe and GLC. All these people you've been friends with since you was a kid, now all of them are saying like you ain't shit. That's kind of scary. When people been knowing you 20 plus years and you just like they just don't know what type of person you are anymore, that means you really fucked up.
Rhymefest, bro.
Right. All these people been knowing him for years. It's just like, particularly with our culture, if a nigga been knowing you for fuck it, like with me and you, I've been knowing you for 4 years now. If I switched up on you, you would wild out and you be like, I didn't see that coming. If somebody you've been knowing for 15, 20 some years, just switch up on you and you did see it and they didn't see it coming, that means you really fucked up, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like you have times where you can see how stuff about to go with certain people. Like with me personally, I can see how a person is about to be and how long I'm gonna fuck with you within your actions. Sometimes it only be a couple months. I give you a week and I see how your actions are, and that just coming up a certain way. That's just coming up from poverty, and you just see being around dudes that you know with certain backgrounds, they show you how the game is. But particularly with Kanye, the Malik Youssef thing came out today, and they talk about how the Drake stuff. He basically confirmed in that article I sent you. Yeah, the Drake stuff is real. And what did he say? 8 out of 10, the white vans are across the street. Like he talks about how like Malik Youssef talked about in the article how he went to Wyoming. Drake did, and then a couple weeks. Remember, they talked about how Kanye didn't have it. He had it in his writing credits as you have to legally have in your credits who wrote whatever song, who produced most of the songs. So he had it in Yikes when that horrible Ye album first came out. And we was like, oh, okay, maybe he had like a little bar or something. No. A couple weeks ago, they found out that Drake actually flew to Wyoming and wrote the whole Yikes song, which is probably one of the only 2-3 good songs on the album, which is funny. And it got a Pierre beat. Shouts out to Pierre. And
That's yes, shouts out to Pierre Bourne.
right, and he did. That was his beat. Ain't no fucking Kanye's been doing this, and it's been getting leaked out now. I think James 14 said it too. Like he basically has ghost producers. Like with the Life of Pablo album, I'm like, these ain't no goddamn Kanye beats, bro. Ain't no fucking co-producing. Ain't no man producing. No More Parties in LA is mad. I've been listening to Madlib for years. All right. We listen to music. We music nerds. I'm not in the business, but I can listen. I got pretty good fucking ears. I can tell distinction between a snare drum, a hi-hat, and a bass. And I could tell ain't none of that shit Kanye, because Kanye didn't have no drums to the Daytona album.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Dean for that one.
Right. And that was probably all Mike Dean to be 100. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, nigga, like this sound like go ahead.
He's done that before. Like on the Stronger song, I think he hired Tim to like redo the drums.
He did.
Toomp was on that album crazy. I'm guessing Toomp did a few drum works. On the Cruel Summer, the Mercy track, he hired Mike Will to come in and do the drums over.
Yep. Cause we know, like, he got everything else. Like when it comes to sampling, he's one of the greatest samplers ever. Like how he loops a sample. He just don't take a hook like some people do. He'll take bars and a hook and put it into the sample, and it works phenomenally. Like I give him all that. We've known, everybody know, he said it. His drums is garbage, and it's not a knock at him. It just, that's what it is. So with the Yikes, it came out and it was like, all right, we could tell. Like, I didn't know. I couldn't even tell because I listened to Ye once. So I was like, oh, I'm done. Now I got to go back and listen to it to be like, damn, this really is a Drake song. So what Malik Yusef said in that article is he actually played, and they talked about on the podcast once again, how he went to Wyoming, and they said all suspicious before because the episode came out yesterday, but the Malik Yusef article came out today. How, yeah, he more than likely played him some early cuts of his album, and it was like, this sounds good. So then it's ironic because in April 8th, April 16th, somewhere around there, that's when Kanye went on this whole tangent, like, I'm releasing all these albums and I'm mainly producing them. That was a fucking lie to begin with. As we seen, like, after the first album, after Daytona, it was like, nigga, no, you're not doing all the beats by yourself. Because from Ye on, you didn't do not one single beat by yourself, if any beat. I know you definitely did Infrared. I could tell that's your beat. Infrared ain't no, it's just bass. It's weak ass drums, but it's still good. I could tell that what would Meek do? Dude, that's your beat.
And now, if you know, that was him.
I still question that, even though that's one of my favorite beats ever. Like, that's one of my favorite beats ever, but I'm questioning that a little bit. I gotta listen to it some more. But I wouldn't doubt it's him, but it's like, because nobody else is that insane to put them goddamn the bass with the sample, that rock and roll sample. So yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see him playing Scorpion for Drake. It's like, yeah, this is supposed to be somebody you worked with before. Like, I trust you. Let me play my music for you. And then after Drake probably left Wyoming, it was like, all right, I'm about to do all these and single-handedly produce it. It's like, nigga, if you trying to compete with Drake by producing albums, that's not how it works. If you want to compete, go against 40. And at this point in your career, I don't think you can go against 40 as a producer, because when 40 is doing these beats on this album particularly, it was other producers that work with him, but we hear 40.
Yeah,
when it's just 40, we could tell it's just 40, and his drum's not.
There's that. The thing about Kanye West, and this is the challenging thing for him right now, is what does a Kanye West beat sound like now? Because we don't know. So, like, even when we hear like good beats now, we question, like, did he really do this by himself? Did he not hire some people to come in and rework this? And look, there's no shame in it. Dre does it all the time.
Right.
Dre is great for that. But the thing is, the difference between Ye, I don't know if Ye does this, but Dre is also the mixer and the engineer now.
Exactly. So, he's been doing that since he started, since we known about Dr. Dre.
Yeah. So, like, the thing about Dre is, even if Dre didn't, like, he just did a little bit of tweaking to the beat, when it comes to mixing and mastering, it's a Dre beat because we hear it the way he wants us to hear it.
Exactly. Them hard ass, them insane drums and bass.
Like, nobody is, like, the crazy thing about Dre is nobody has figured out how to have drums like his that not are overpowering, but have enough, like, power behind them and enough kick that you just feel them like that.
Is that why he don't release an album every like 10 years? He's like, no, I got to still work on this drum. And that's a joke, but it actually might be real.
Well, you got to think about this. Think of all the great stuff Dre just won't let us hear.
Right. Because with them detox, it's a generation that never understand them infamous detox sessions. How literally 15 years he made us wait. It was just a rumor for 15 years. He had think about this. He had people like that ain't even in the rap industry. Old rappers now. Shit, he probably had Uzi Vert at like 10 years old doing something. He was like, he had all these people that just came through sessions, and it's like, we'll never hear it.
Yeah. And then I was telling my brothers this. Go listen to Compton again. You may not like the rapping on it, but just go listen. Like, if someone put out Compton, the instrumentals, go listen to that and tell me that is not the best produced album of the year. And To Pimp a Butterfly came out that year.
Right. That had 2 Dre beats on it.
Yes. We know that you love Dragon.
Yeah, like, bro, every time I've been listening to Bimber Butterfly the past couple of days, I'm like, come on, man. Like, why? Like, I understand he did that because he don't want to take all the attention away because it was K Dot's like second major album release. But it's like, nigga, we hear the drums, we hear the bass on how much does a dollar cost.
Yeah.
It's the same pattern.
And like, look, man, I know those reverberated keys and drums anywhere.
Thank you. Like, bro, we know in the second, third verse, the shit about to switch up and get higher.
Yeah. And like, look, man, don't nobody do the keys. And shout all love to Zaytoven. No disrespect to Zaytoven because Zaytoven is incredible.
Yeah.
But don't nobody do the piano keys in rap like Dre.
And that's him on the piano keys.
Yes. Like, I ain't seen a Love Dragon beat anywhere else.
We didn't even know who the fuck Love Dragon is. You can't even Google it.
Yeah, so you telling me this Love Dragon dude who made 2 songs on probably the best album of the decade.
Yes.
And although I'm personally still in the camp of Blonde, but I would concede the argument that, like, if you think To Pimp a Butterfly is the best, I'll give you that.
Right.
I won't fight that.
They definitely gonna be neck and neck on our end of the decade list. It's definitely gonna be 1 and 2. Like, I don't know what could precede those albums, but you gonna have to make something. That's all I can say. You gonna have to make something.
So having said all of that, this Love Dragon dude makes 2 really good songs on the best album of the decade, debatably, or probably not debatably, and just never shows up ever again.
And this is like Grammy K Dot at this point, and instant classic, Good Kid, Mad City K Dot, and I'm on Interscope K Dot with like Jimmy Iovine, like paying attention to you. Jimmy Iovine don't pay attention to nobody.
Yes, like the thing about To Pimp a Butterfly that's amazing is Kendrick made the best rap album of the decade, debatably, with Good Kid, Mad City. He followed up with making the best album of the decade.
Easily. And then it was great. Like, these are Grammy nominated winning albums. And
and now this is going to be the interesting. This is going to be the interesting thing when talking about Kendrick going forward. Is from Good Kid to Pimp a Butterfly, like when Mike went from Off the Wall to Thriller, or will it be like if Mike went from Thriller to Off the Wall?
Thriller to Off the Wall, and this is why, because Thriller I've been listening to a lot, just because, like I said, I've been listening to a lot of MJ since Joe passed, and then I think I talked about it with you in the past couple months anyway, like how I don't like the whole greatest of all time album thing, because I don't think you can do that.
No.
And because everybody keeps saying fucking Sgt. Pepper and Lonely Hearts is the greatest of all time, sonically it's up there, because to do that shit back in the 60s on analog is insane. But at the same time, when you high on acid, I think you can do anything. I've never been on acid, but I'm pretty sure you got 12 hours of free time. You can really focus and do something like that.
There's that, and like you said, like I told my brother this, like if you want to go technically the best album technical wise, it's definitely Sgt. Pepper's. But it's also really a lot easier to do that album when you have Paul McCartney and John Lennon in the same room figuring shit out.
Right, all high. Like, this is a prime example of why I know they needed drugs back then, because it's like, bro, like, Coffee ain't gonna do this. And shouts out to the engineer. Well, I ain't gonna shout that motherfucker out. He in jail, but he still is a hell of an engineer. But what's his name? Will Spector or
Phil Spector?
Phil Spector. There you go. Yeah, he in jail. Or yeah, he a lot. Yeah, he just in jail for what he did. Yeah, that case was crazy. But I won't get into that. But hell of an engineer to do that. And I mean, every time I won't stay on him too long, but every time they show him during court, he just looked like he was surprised. I'm like, hey, bro, the 60s was real. He probably still think he in them sessions.
Yeah.
Like, I killed a woman. I killed a woman. Did I have time? I had time.
He had VR decades before VR even came out.
Oh, they had it when it was potent. When when the government first put acid, like how they first put crack in the hood, and people was making money, and crackheads was really like to this day, crackheads are superhuman because they had the crack back in the 80s. Like they was getting the acid from the government when it was like that. Period.
Yeah, man. It's
that
like straight from it's straight from the Nazis. LSD.
Thank you. Huh? Okay.
Y'all didn't know that? What I say right there?
I was with John Lennon. They told me to come get him in the cave. But with
Kanye.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to Kanye. I'll just talk about Thriller for a minute. It just going back to that greatest of all time album thing. It's like, okay, Sgt. Pepper is up there. I gotta say, when I say that, and it's gonna kind of be contradictory to what I just said about the greatest album of all time, I gotta kind of fall back on that because I'm listening to Thriller and I'm like, bruh, this 10 songs and this shit sound better than most things that's out these days, except for some of the TDE stuff, because it sound better than even the TDE stuff. It's just TDE that it's just they got a good in-house produced squad. But with Thriller, it broke records, the high-selling album of all time, every track hit, and it's just like it sounds good, and I'm just like, bruh, it's gonna be eventually we gotta have a list, or we gotta talk about how we talked about perfect songs. We gotta talk about that. It's just with Thriller, I gotta say honestly, if we have to do a greatest of all time list, I'm putting that on there for so many different reasons, and because they have a perfect song, which is Human Nature. Like, I remember being a kid hearing that, and to this day I still have the same feeling. Yes,
I agree with you about Human Nature.
Okay, yeah, and so going back to Kanye, I won't get too winded for it. I want you to have a chance to speak too. With Kanye, it's like, bro, like this is making me say, who are you as an artist? Like, you've given us classics, but you can't give everybody a fucking pass because of something they did before. Because if that was the case, then we still living on the fact that, and it's not to take anything away from, and I'm gonna use a basketball analogy. It's not to take away from anything from Kobe, because everybody knows how I feel about Kobe. But it's like when he tore his Achilles, it was like, bro, you can't live on the same thing you've lived on before, as far as your game goes. And the same thing with Kanye. It's like, at this point, I don't know who you are. And at least with Kobe as a player, I kind of know who you are. Even after the injury, you still gonna try to score, my nigga, even though it's kind of quiet for you after a devastating injury, and that's not your fault. With Kanye, I can't defend him anymore. Kind of as an artist, like as a person, I'm never defending him because the nigga's crazy. But as an artist, it's like, who are you at this point where I go back to Life of Pablo and the album wasn't that good, and I could tell this ain't you. Don't even let me get started with Yeezus when you just tripping, like you want to bring your mom into something that has nothing to do with anything you talking about. This woman was in the civil rights era from Oklahoma doing this shit in Chicago. You're fucking mad because they not letting you eat in the fashion industry, and you want to make something called New Slaves. Like, you're not talking about anybody that's working a 9-to-5 or busting their ass when you rich and you up here run some. I don't want to talk about this person, like, so I'm falling back. That's how I know I'm getting older. Well, I don't need to attack you that way. But you making songs that make no fucking sense like Yeezus does. Sonically, it sounds okay. I could imagine those sessions with Daft Punk, like, bro, what the fuck is this? But the check is cleared. And you just made something called New Slaves and Black Skinhead, and you rebelling because you can't get in the fashion industry. You sound like a fucking kid. And Dark Fantasy is probably his last great work, because with Watch the Throne, it's a collab album. And when I listen to Watch the Throne now, I'm like, it's still probably one of the best albums to come out this decade, probably one of my favorite albums ever. I'm listening to the beats now. I'm like, this shit don't really sound like no Kanye beats. Cruel Summer definitely ain't no Kanye beats. I think he puts himself on the credits just to get paid off of it, and just because it's on this album, he could say, okay, this is a Kanye beat. My nigga, you got 4 other producers on here. How much can you do and it's no sample?
There's that. I don't know what he's necessarily doing. If he's like just overseeing it all and telling them what to do, okay, I'll give you the producer thing. Like,
Right.
Quincy Jones wasn't in there playing the damn instruments,
At
but
all. But he was orchestrating it.
yeah, he was arranging it. He was doing all that. If Kanye's arranging it, like, yo, do this, and that, okay, fine. That's cool. There's the one big thing I want Kanye to stop doing is just stop trying to chase the adoration of young folks. Like, that's really it.
He's doing
Like,
that for the hype beast. That's where he is now, and that's what. And not to cut you off, I apologize for that, but it's just because the shit it's starting to. It's not bothering me because I don't know this dude, but it's not the same. When he said I miss the old Kanye, I think now looking at it, he's just laughing because I got the hype beast behind me. Like the hype beasts are the ones that said, "Yay is a dope album." It's fucking trash, but they don't know the difference between music. What's good music? They don't know the difference.
Yeah, there's that, and I can see that. And that's pretty much what I'm getting at is like, just don't. And there's hype beasts of an older generation too. It's just like, dude, you are 40. You are 40
with 3 kids.
3 kids. And that's not to say you can't make great material that can get on the radio and people can dance to. It's just like, look, man, if you were going down to doing what, like we said, like what Juice WRLD is doing, or what Yachty or Uzi are doing, they can do this so much better than you can because they are native to this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's and that's all it is like there is Paul McCartney's still out here touring. He's still out here making records. The people that loved Paul McCartney when he was a pop star, they are still listening to those records. They're still rocking with Paul McCartney. The reason they rocking with Paul McCartney is because Paul McCartney ain't out here trying to be like out here doing what Rihanna or Bruno Mars is doing. He's doing Paul McCartney stuff. Say what you will about Justin Timberlake throughout all of his years, whether you like his music or you don't. He has never tried to just be what the young boys are. He has always tried to find himself and find how he fits into this era of pop music and how he can make his brand of pop music in this current climate. But you ain't never seen him out here just like trying to be Chris Brown or trying to be Bruno Mars or trying to be Trey Songz or anything like that or Frank Ocean. He has always been himself. Kanye, the reason I don't like Ye, it's a mumble rap album for the most part. And I don't mind mumble rap, but like I said, the people who do mumble rap, or what we call mumble rap, they do this so much better because they're just native to it. Like, he will never make a mumble rap album better than Cardi or Yachty or Uzi. He can't. He can't make an emo album better than what Juice WRLD can do. Or what Extension could have done. Rest his soul. He just can't.
R.I.P.
Because this is where they started. He's trying to find himself in that. And that's the thing about Kanye that he's always done is he's always tried to find he's done what, a lot of great pop stars have done. He's found the more cutting edge stuff and trying to find the pop sensibilities in it. And the problem is things are so niche right now that these things aren't meant for the pop atmosphere in that way. Like when he did Yeezus, he was trying to do that Death Grips noise rap type of stuff. And the thing he failed at is he realized that the thing that made that so interesting was that it was completely rejecting it. I'm not saying that there weren't points where like you could find, certain things where them and pop songs could add up. But the point of that type of music was to not sound like that. And that's why I think it failed. At least for me, there's a lot of people that still love that. But That's all I have to say about Kanye is I just wish he would stop chasing the opinions of the young crowd who's telling him what's popping now. Because look at Jay. Jay is not interested in making a song that sounds like what Yachty or Uzi is doing. He's trying to make he's just trying to make a really good songs. And you know what happened? He had a #1 album. You know why? Because there is a fan base that has grown up and respected and appreciated Jay in a way that they will still come out. Even if the Nas album was bad, Nas was trying to make the Nas songs that Nas is comfortable with making. The Nas fans came out. You know, Tribe Called Quest a few years ago. They made a Tribe Called Quest album in 2016. I didn't know if that was possible. They pulled it off. You know why? They just did what Tribe does. And it worked.
And
So
that's
it's
my
possible.
thing.
Go ahead.
And no, it's the same thing that you're saying. I'm basically elaborating what you're saying, and you absolutely right. It's just it makes you question like who he's been this whole time, and now
Yeah.
it makes me think about what Drake was gonna do. What Jay Prince told him to chill. Was he gonna say, "Nigga, the whole time you've been a fraud because everybody's been ghost producing for you and writing for you"?
There's that. But I mean, I'm not even tripping on that. But we're beyond that. Let's go. I'm already at home. So let's go to the washed MVP of the week. And this is going to be really short. It's that Boonk Gang dude.
Oh God,
So
I didn't even want to talk about him.
I don't have much to say, and we can like end it on what I'm gonna say because this is like you could put a flex bomb at the end of this one or a clue bomb, whoever you want to call it,
I'll
whoever you.
definitely edit that in. I wish I had it on my phone right now.
But so if y'all not familiar with the Boonk Gang dude, this dude was on Instagram having sex with women.
Yes.
I don't know if it was Instagram Live or Instagram TV or like the Instagram Snapchat thing, but he was doing that. According to DJ Academics, or as the MVPs of this month, Desus and Mero for, you know, successfully closing out the Viceland show and getting the Showtime deal. As they like to call him, Wackademics, and Vic Mensa likes to call him Wackademics. Apparently he was not only sleeping with these girls, but sleeping with them raw.
Woo!
And then giving them a Plan B pill.
Hey.
So if that's the truth, that's not even the thing that I'm going to get to first. Because the thing is, if you watch that, you had to be paying attention for the important details. And here's the important detail. Boonk Gang was doing that for attention, right? And he got attention. But then there were women on Twitter who were watching, who saw that. And you know what a few of them who I read what they were saying said?
What?
He was smart enough not to put that girl's face on video, from what I'm told.
Yeah, he did.
But he did have sex with her on there. That lady didn't moan one time. One time.
Oh, you wilder for that one.
That's what they said. I am only reporting what women of Twitter said because they were paying attention to the right things. Dudes was just out here like, oh yeah, that dude crazy. Women were looking at this and was like, she is not satisfied with this whatsoever.
So
and that is the
clout, as the kids say.
He did do it for the clout. Now the problem is he got himself attention, but he might have gotten the wrong attention along the way. Which I will end it on this story. I had a friend who's when I was in community college, his cousin came up there. His cousin had was a little bit older. His cousin had moved out and he was talking about living on his own. His cousin was living in this building where like a few doors down, there was like these 3 really, really pretty women. It's 4 pretty women that lived in it was like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. He had a 1 bedroom, but they were in the same building and they weren't far away. Like they were like, I think a floor above him, but you could hear them. And I know if he could hear them, they could hear
him.
Right.
And he thought they were pretty. So what he did was he brought over a young lady that he knew he could sleep with, but she was also loud. So when he had sex, he waited till like the dead of night, had sex with her. They heard it. He ended up sleeping, I think he told us, with 2 or 3 of those girls that lived above him. The moral of the story is, if you are going to do something for attention, make sure you get the right cast. Because remember, Boom Gang, y'all talking about him. If you can find the video, go watch it again. Go listen for that girl moaning. You ain't gonna find one.
This is facts. I never thought about that. I have nothing else to elaborate on concerning that. I'll do my watch candidate and we could dip out.
Yeah.
My watch candidate of the week is the Spurs organization.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's over. And the fact that they want Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, and 2 future first round draft picks for Kawhi Leonard. Listen, sometimes you got to just know when to get the best deal you can so you won't lose nothing. That ain't good English, and saying they ain't either. But listen, the man saying, or what we can hear from whoever is talking, his interpreter. I don't know who Kawhi interpreter is or whoever he's talking to. I feel like he whispering to this person and just telling them to send telegraphs.
You think Kawhi is Professor X?
Yeah.
Like he just communicate telepathically?
To be that good and not talk, something got to be wrong. You got to be a mutant. This man put up 26 2 seasons ago. Put up 26 points and was all NBA first team selection. He was defensive player of the year. Excuse me. A defensive player of the year, 26 points, all NBA first team selection. How many times did you see him talk on the court?
Very true.
He shot that damn 3 ball from the left side. He sticks your best player, and you ain't see him talk once.
This is big facts.
So I think he definitely, you're right. He probably using telekinesis to talk. Like, I want to go to the Lakers. Okay. And the fact that the Spurs won't take just a Tyler Enos jersey, autographed jersey, and some sneakers and a first round pick lets me know everything I need to know about the Spurs. So they can keep him if they want. He's interpreting or using telekinesis to the person that he talks to, his whoever he pays to talk to him, his uncle or whatever. He's letting them know that I ain't playing. So you about to lose everything and you won't make the playoffs. So it's better just to take the best deal and keep it pushing. Be safe, though.
See y'all.
All right, bro. We about to get out of here. Episode 9. We're going to keep doing this, and we're going to get back in the studio as well. But this is fun.
Oh, yeah, this is fun. It's a good ride home.
Yeah, got you through traffic, this insane LA traffic.
Yeah, man.
All right, brother.
All right, later.